Hello, welcome to your weekly recap. This week we talked about setting a path for success. I'm curious, are you ever really successful when you fly by the seat of your pants with your fingers crossed behind your back, hoping and praying that it works out? Probably not. And that's all right. We're here to talk about and support you in your efforts to um, set goals and set a behavioral chain to get you to that goal. Does that make sense? Okay, here's an example. Let's say you're super excited for the next day because you know that you're going to stick to it. You've already made a fabulous, tasty, low point lunch and it's in the fridge waiting for you to take to work. You know exactly what you're going to have for breakfast. You've planned it, measured it. You just have to make it. You go to bed super excited. You wake up, something goes awry, and you end up being late for work. In fact, you're so late that you rush out the door, don't have time to make your breakfast, and you've forgotten your amazing lunch in the fridge. What do? Well, perhaps, if you're anything like me, you go through a drive-through and end up getting a breakfast because you cannot bear to be hungry. So you've missed the great breakfast, you've substituted it with something in a drive-through that perhaps is much higher in smart points. But you think, it's okay, it's all good, I got a great lunch planned, and then you remember you left the lunch at home. Really, you're batting 0 for 0. So that's an example of, even though you have a great plan in place, something went wrong and you weren't able to perhaps get yourself back on track, and the whole day is a write-off. So, it's really important that we understand that great ideas don't just happen. Living a healthy lifestyle, being active, having time for yourself doesn't just happen. You actually have to plan for it. And it's important that you understand that there are things that could happen throughout your week or throughout the day that mess with those plans, but you can't let that derail you. Your goals are too important. Um, can you think of a domino example from your life that's either positive or not positive? If so, look at all of the things that led up to the result, work backwards and see what you could have done differently. What's important is that we learn how to navigate the challenges that come up. The best laid plans sometimes go awry, but we can't let that stop us. Um, when you have an unwanted outcome, what can you do to replace that weak link? So, for example, you may always plan for something, and there's the same behavior falls apart. Well, that's a link that's weak in your chain. If you see that recurring, you need to look at it and change your plan. Can you do that? Well, of course you can do it. My question is, will you do it? Knowing what you want is important. Setting up yourself for success is also important. We call it a behavior chain, and you want to look at every single link in that chain and make sure that it's strong. When it's obvious that your goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. Confucius said that. He was a very smart man. My name is Mahara. If you want to be successful, you need to set up a path to that success. Hope you had a great week. Thanks.